had a friend who was a king, what kind of a gift would you give him? Well, there are many people of prominence who have been thrilled to receive this. Zenith's famous 9-band transoceanic, the world's most exciting radio. Powered to tune in the world. You'll find every Zenith radio, from the famous transoceanic to the tiniest pocket transistor, is built in the Zenith quality tradition, including super-sensitive FM/AM radios, handsome table and clock radios, and powerful solid-state portables. Over 100 radios to choose from, priced to fit every gift budget. At Zenith, the quality goes in before the name goes on. If you're buying a radio for a king, a friend, or for yourself, why not get the best?
Christmas gift values up to $15, now only $4.96 at Kmart. The amazing cookie machine, delicious decorative fun. Make beautiful rugs with the amazing speed tufting kit. Create exciting fancy foods with the potato chip machine. The bottle and jar cutter recycles throwaway bottles and jars into beautiful glassware. The rhinestone and stud setter stylizes jeans, shirts, anything. Homemade ice cream is easy with the automatic ice cream machine. Get these great Christmas gift values for just $4.96 only at Kmart.
Give me an Anheuser-Busch Natural Light.
Just say natural.
You see, you doesn't have to call it Anheuser-Busch Natural Light, and you doesn't have to call it Anheuser Natural, and you doesn't have to call it Busch Natural. Just say natural.
Johnson's right.
Oh, you can call me Ray, or you can call me Jay, or you can
For
call
a
me
great
Jack.
tasting light beer, just say natural.
But you doesn't have to call me Johnson.
2 naturals, please.
Please don't ask him his name.
Name? You can call me Ray, or you can call me...
53 to nothing. This team could use some magic.
Bake the magic
Open the door to a wonderful show.
with Pillsbury chocolate chip cookies.
Bake the magic of popping fresh dough. Hot chocolate chips when the other guys won. So chewy, ooey gooey, they're a bunch of fun.
They tackled those cookies.
You can make magic, you know we did. With the magic of popping fresh dough.
This boy is losing his pull. Why did he lose his pull so soon? He didn't fuel up with a good breakfast.
Cheerios!
Like this good, nutritious breakfast with toast, juice, milk, and yummy Cheerios, which has almost no sugar. When you fuel up in the morning with a Cheerios breakfast,
It'll really get you going. Hey! Cheerios!
Think of the biggest sports fans on your Christmas list, and I'll show you the biggest present you can give them. Here it is, a whole year of sports. Week after week of the top magazine in sports, Sports Illustrated. Starting with our special year-end issue, and followed by the bowl games. Super Bowl 15, the year in sports, plus baseball, basketball, hockey, tennis, golf. 52 great issues of Sports Illustrated at our special holiday rate of just $27.95. That's $8 off our regular subscription price. And your shopping couldn't be easier. Just dial toll-free 800-621-8200 with the addresses of the people on your list. A gift card will be on its way, and we won't bill you until next year. Sports Illustrated is 64% off the cover price, and the phone call is free. So call 800-621-8200. And they'll cheer you once a week for the rest of the year.
Ever feel like you're on a date all by yourself?
Get set, let's get closer.
When your husband says, I love you, does he yell it from across the room?
Get set, let's get closer.
Only Certs has flavor crystals and retsin for great taste and fresh breath that lasts over an hour. So if your sweetheart serenades you from long distance,
Get set, let's get closer.
Imagine a gift under your tree that the whole family can play. An Atari video computer system and game cartridges from Meyer & Frank. Now through Christmas, these cartridges and the video game system are specially priced. Easy to hook up and easy to play against a partner or one-on-one with the computer. Sports games, action games, thinking games, a wide selection to choose from, all specially priced through Christmas. Meyer & Frank, all stores.
For everything under the tree.
That's right. Subscribe and ring that bell, people. It's Sunday. You know what that means. It's time for Ice Cream with Irate Prostate. And that's me. I'm Irate Prostate. And I love talking to people. The whole idea behind this, I call it ice cream because most people see ice cream as a treat. And to me, a treat is talking to somebody that I want to know more about, somebody I'm interested in, because I've always dug talking to people, and this is kind of the flagship of what I'm doing now, or what I've been doing for a couple of years now, and I still consider this the flagship, because it's I've met more people this way. It's interesting. Everybody, I believe, has something unique about them, and I try to find that when I do this, because there's people on this here platform that you just see one aspect of them, and what I like to do is I try to see if we can get a more three-dimensional kind of take on who a person really is, most of the time the people aren't far different from what you see, but some people prefer playing characters, and I can totally respect that. But this dude didn't. This dude started hopping in my chat. I don't know how long ago. It's been quite a while, and about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I was thinking, man, it's like I wonder what this dude's all about. So I asked Dar to do this thing, and he said he'd do it, man, and so we're here, and we're going to do it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to meet RVA Dar, or just Dar.
Hey, hello, everybody.
Hey.
So, all right, so you can call me RVA or you can call me Dar, but you're going to have to call me RVA Dar.
Yeah. Man, see, some of us remember that shit, right? And I didn't realize how annoying that dude is until I recorded that, because I've got one of his whole routines too. I was showing it to Uzi because she'd never seen it before, and I'm like, damn, this dude's annoying as hell. Dark Star 6909, let's say hey to the chat. Grill and Pirate Pete, greetings. Johnny Bonsaco, brother, see you there. Ryan himself, hey, nice meeting you last night. I think that was you. Negative Kelvin, what's up? And Sir Adamantine, of course, kicking it off. So feel free to chat amongst yourselves. If you've got a question for Mr. Dar, please jot them down, and I'll make time at the near the end of the show, so y'all can ask him your own personal questions. And without any further ado, you ready to get going, brother?
I'm ready anytime you are.
All right, cool.
Adapt and overcome. That's my motto.
Well, let's do that thing. All right, so how long have you been coming to hanging around YouTube? Go ahead.
No, finish your question.
I was going to say, and what made you decide that you wanted to maybe stream, here and there with people?
Okay, so I've been coming around YouTube now for about 4 years. I had a job where I worked with a lot of younger folks. They were telling me about some of their favorite personalities. And so I started watching a few videos, and I found Drunken Uncle, Bearing, and Monkey. And so I said, wow. Started listening to these guys, thoroughly entertained. And then when they formed the Lords of the Night, I was a pretty regular watcher of that. Through that, I found comic book creation, Polydub, Jack, Inquisitor.
Jack.
I just got really interested. Watched a lot, started making comments, started participating in chat, and then through those guys, I found Pat online, and he's like a really kind of guy, but he's also that kind of person, kind of like him. You just can't help yourself but like him.
Yeah, no shit.
And so one day he had the open stream, nobody was jumping on it. I probably can't screw it up any worse than anybody else, so why not?
Exactly. Well, good.
Started talking to him, and and the rest is history.
Well, that's really cool, man. You just decided, hey, man, it's like so yours was out of curiosity, then, basically.
Yeah.
I get that. That's cool. That is very cool. Curious nature is something we share. So why did you pick the name RVA Dar, and how much of what people see would you say is the real you?
Okay, so RVA Dar comes the fact that I live in the RVA. It was Dar.
Okay, so what is the RVA?
Richmond, Virginia.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see.
Yeah,
all right.
Prospero knows what it is. And it's funny because Scribelight still calls me Arvidar.
Arvidar. I like that.
Yeah, because he doesn't know that the RVA is the RVA. Thinks it's Arva. So I think that's kind of... But,
hey, Rich,
no, I live... Everything you see or hear coming, it's 100% me. It's just, I'm who I am.
Cool.
Or as Popeye would say, I am what I am. That's all that I am.
You is what you is. Or as Frank Zappa would say, you are what you is.
Yeah, exactly.
And we'll get to music in a little bit, man. So let's see. I don't have my I need to put my specs on. Don't know. I usually have them on when I do this thing. All right. So here's where I love to kick it off. It's this is a question that I ask everybody, and every answer has been unique. All right, so is there a food from your childhood that you hated, but now that as an adult you actually like it?
Chinese.
Yeah? Anything specific?
Yep.
Chinese, or just anything Chinese?
Just Chinese food in general. As a child, didn't like anything about it. And I got to visit Hong Kong. Of course, there's 3 or 4 different. And while in Hong Kong, tried all of them, found a lot of things really enjoyed, and I just to this day I like.
Cool. So who would you say is the most influential person in your childhood?
My grandfather.
And if you could use one word to describe your family, what would it be?
Crazy.
Okay. So, all right. So what were some of the things that you hold dear, teaching wise, from your grandfather?
Well, my grandfather never yelled at me. He told me when I was a young man, really long hair. Instead of telling me that to get a haircut like that, he gave me a 1-foot comb. He says, you're going to need this to comb it. And ever since that day, so.
All right, so
that's kind of.
It seems like your signal's coming in and out.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. All right, so tell the second half of that story again.
All right, so I had long hair, and my grandfather, instead of telling me I needed a haircut, he bought me a 1-foot long plastic comb. And he said, well, your hair's getting kind of long. You might need this big comb to comb. And so ever since then, I've had short hair.
Interesting. That's an interesting way to communicate that too. That's awesome. Let's see. What kind of kid were you growing up?
Really quiet, shy. Didn't really talk to anybody else. Kind of stuck to myself. Not very outgoing.
Okay. Kind of introspective, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, much different nowadays.
Right.
Much different.
All right. So, did you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite holiday or season, time of the year that gets you in a good mood, puts you in a good spirit?
Yes, my favorite holiday is National Talk Like a Pirate Day.
You know, man, I almost did this. Like, I almost said RVA.
Yeah, that you could have.
I said, man, you know, it's like, yeah, talk about that a little bit. The pirate thing. Tell us, educate us.
Okay, so two guys got together and they petitioned Congress to create a National Talk Like a Pirate Day. And so that became into being about like 15 years ago or something. Right. Not a very old holiday. And of course, the fun stuff about National Talk Like a Pirate Day in Florida, a couple places in South Carolina, they have bars that turn into pirate bars for that one day. And then I also found out that if you order your donut from Krispy Kreme like a pirate, they will give you a free donut. If you go in dressed like a pirate, they will give you a free dozen donut.
That's funny as shit. Oh man.
So that's kind of fun. So I always go in and order my coffee and donut like a pirate, so I get the.
Nice.
But I will pay for the coffee.
I did not know that. Man, I need to write that down. Right, talk like a pirate, get a free donut at Krispy Kreme. They make the best donuts on the planet. So, you know.
Especially when the hot light.
No shit, man. Used to go late at night, you know. Anyway, let's see. Where am I? Where am I in my questions? If you could go back and talk to little Dara at the age of 8, what would you tell him?
I wouldn't tell him anything. I wouldn't go back and talk to him because, in my opinion, my life experiences is what person I.
Right. You're cutting out again, I think.
I'm sorry. I'm pretty happy with the person I am, so.
Yeah, so your philosophy is that everything has led you to here, and you wouldn't change it. That's good.
Exactly.
That's I appreciate that, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I kind of feel the same way. You know, there'd be, you know, maybe, you know, but no, yeah, I totally agree. All right, so what was elementary and middle school like? Great. Did you get good grades? Did you were you athletic? Play music or draw or?
Elementary school was really kind of weird because I went to probably went to about 16 different elementary schools.
Wow.
So I can't really junior high school was interesting. It was probably the most interesting time of my life. That's where I discovered the fact that I'm really into a good set of legs.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah.
Well, I was going to ask, why did you move around so much? Or why did they put you? Why did you go to different schools?
Okay. At that time, my dad was just getting out of the Navy. It was a very turbulent time in the country, and then he got a job working on the oil rigs. So every 2 to 3 months, the rigs pick up and go someplace else to drill a new hole. So you're constantly moving around.
Right.
And so that's kind of the reason for it. Until I met my wife, I've never lived in one place more than like 4 years.
Right. Okay. Let's see. All right. So, so what about grades? would you say you're average to, or above average, below average?
In some areas, definitely below average. Most areas, average. And in some areas, yeah, I'd say average to below, depending on if I was interested in the class or not.
Yeah. What was your favorite?
My favorite classes were art, wood shop, history.
Interesting. I totally identify with that. What was the craziest?
My least favorite was math.
What was the craziest thing you did as a kid?
Crazy, did so much. I would say craziest thing I did is I sledded off the top of the gymnasium at high school.
Right?
Yeah, and it was fun.
I bet
The
it was.
sudden stop at the chain link fence at the bottom, though, was not so.
Oh, damn!
But yeah, I would say that was probably the craziest thing I did as a kid.
Cool. So was it like a situation like at the end of the end of the Shining movie where all the snow is, if there's so much snow you can slide down it from the window?
Yep, that's exactly what it was.
Oh, dude, that's crazy.
It was day out. So we had a couple snow days because we had a blizzard that dumped like almost 8 foot of snow on.
Wow.
Of course, it was windy and everything drifted up. And so the next day, we decided to dig ourselves out. And, like good normal human beings, that when it's, the snow's like well over waist deep, we decided to go to the school to play. That's what we did. So we were sledding off the top of the school, and we found it had blown so much it was even with our gymnasium, and nobody was like brave enough to do it. And so in my efforts to impress a young lady, I said I will do it. And I neither succeeded in impressing her or saving myself from bodily harm.
So was it worth it in the long run?
What's that?
Was it worth it in the long run?
Yeah, I would say it was. The ride, it was a hell of a ride.
And I bet, man. See, that's I like the way you're answering these questions. You have a comrade here. So all right, so we go to high school. Things change, boys and girls start noticing each other. What was that like for you?
Well, it wasn't really much for me because, like I said, I was really quiet, shy, reserved, stayed back. In some respects, I share a lot of the same things that Jack Cochran went through in high school. If you ever heard him talk about his high school days. Oh, yeah. Got picked on a lot. And the group of people I hung out with were the other kids that nobody else would hang out with. We were all like outsiders and misfits.
Right.
And so I got to tell you, for me, high school was nothing more than pure torture. I was glad it was over.
Right. Well, all right, so you said something about a pair of legs or something?
Yeah, that was in junior high school. So where I went to junior high school was a very rural community out in the middle of nowhere. And almost everybody, you either worked on the oil rigs, you were a cattle rancher, or you were a doctor or a lawyer. So this one young lady, she every day wore a pair of jeans,
not hearing you, Dar. Lou. Hey, Dar, if you're talking, I can't hear you. Hop out and then hop back in. See if that helps. Sometimes. Dar? Dar. Dar. I see he's obviously talking, but it's not coming through, and I don't know why. All right, and I pop back in, and Dar is still. I'm gonna do this. All right, Dar, if you can hear me, reconnect. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, hello. What happened?
Okay, I don't know, man. It just totally went out. I saw your little ring, you know, the green ring.
Yeah.
But we couldn't hear jack squat.
Oh, okay. Well,
sometimes the phone connections are like that.
Yeah.
So I apologize. All right, so we were talking about the legs.
Yeah, we're talking about this young lady in junior high school who wore a dress one day to school, and it was the first time I had ever seen her in something besides jeans. And she had these like long, beautiful, gorgeous legs. I just couldn't help but stop and stare. And of course, you know, other physical things were happening, so I had to stay after class a little bit before I could get up at class.
Oh, wow. So is that the first time you realized that there was more to women than just, you know what I'm saying? You know?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah. So that's kind of cool. You know, it's like you realize I like legs. Yeah. Oh, and all right. So let's see. What about music wise? What was your first album you ever bought, or the first concert?
Okay, so the first album that I ever bought. Think back. I think the first album I ever bought was a Kiss album.
Yeah.
The first concert and the first concert I ever went to was the Atlanta Rhythm Section.
Oh wow, I saw them live too, man.
Yeah, they were a great live band.
Fantastic. Yeah, man, they were a good band. Their music was great. The singer was really good. They were very tight. I don't know.
Yes, they were.
Champagne Jam was a good album. I had that.
Yeah, I went to the tour I went to was The Boys from Doraville. Is the name of the album.
Was that you know when that came out?
See, that had to be 78 or 70.
Okay, so yeah. So that's the one that came out after Champagne Jam. I was trying to figure out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right after.
Yeah. They were a great band. Red Tape's a great album too.
Oh yeah, I love their music.
Yeah, indeed. Good stuff. Let's see. All right. So, what about guilty pleasures, music wise? You got anything?
Guilty pleasure would be ABBA.
Cool, man. They're not bad. You know.
No, there's only one song that they have I don't like.
Yeah. Which one was
that's
that?
Dancing. I hate that song. I hate Dancing.
Dancing Queen.
Yeah. I just don't like that song. sad. It's it bums me out every time I.
That's
So that's.
yeah. I'm okay. I'm
And it's
okay
kind
with
of.
all their shit. To be honest.
Yeah, I love ABBA. That is my guilty pleasure.
Indeed. Yeah, I see that. All right, so we talked about the first time you realized. What about your relationship with chicks? What was that like? Or what has it been like?
Well, see, I've been married for 25 years now, so
right,
I must be doing something right.
Yeah.
But early days, I had quite a few. My last year in high school, I took a lady that was 35 to the prom, and then a few years after high school, I came home from leave, and I took a friend's daughter to her high school prom, and that was and then relationships after that were I had a couple pretty turbulent ones. My first marriage was one of those that was very, very turbulent.
Right.
Won't talk about that.
Okay.
And then I spent a few months with a lady in Australia, Perth, Australia. That was great.
All right.
So I would say,
yeah,
I would say overall it was good.
All right. So at this point, at what point did you join the military? And talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I joined the Navy shortly after school. I was kind of right after high school. I kind of went on a journey to find myself, which I know is a 70s thing. This is the 80s. I was just trying to find myself, figure out what I wanted to do.
I think everybody goes through that.
Yeah, so I said, well, I'm not exactly sure what I want to do, but I do know I want to have some fun. So I joined the Navy, and I would say the first 6 weeks of that adventure totally changed, completely person. And the culmination of the 23 years that I spent has really did a lot for me. Did a lot. So, you know, I'm quite thankful and quite proud of the time I spent.
So what was your job?
I was in supply.
Okay.
So Skeptalk was a Navy supply officer. I was a Navy supply enlisted guy.
Right.
So I worked for guys like Skeptalk while I was in the Navy. So
I get you. So you guys were like trucking around, you know, delivering shit, and right, something like that.
Kind of, sort of, but not really. So so the jobs in supply are very different ship to ship.
Right.
You might find yourself arranging for services to the ship, or buying spare parts for the guys who have to fix the stuff that goes boom. Other times you're a warehouseman, a delivery driver, sometimes you're a paper pusher, sometimes you're a stevedore, or one of those guys that brings heavy stuff onto the ship. So it was one of the most varied jobs I've ever had in my entire life.
So you did a little bit of something different all the time.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
That's the part I enjoyed the most.
So, yeah, that takes out the monotonous quality out of it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, nice. So you were in the military. How long was it before you met your wife, or the lady that was become your missus?
Okay, so my current missus, I was probably in 10, 15 years.
Okay.
Yeah, 15 years.
Yeah, how'd y'all meet?
We met at a coffee shop in San Diego, California.
Was it a planned thing, or was it?
Not only was it not planned, but so what had happened, I don't know if everybody wants to hear this or not, but so what happened is we went to our favorite coffee shop like we do every night, and there was a big sign on the front door that said closed because of private party. So being good, law-abiding, upstanding Navy guys, we went around to the back door to go in because we were going to have our coffee anyway. So we walked around the back door, went in the back entrance, ordered our coffee, and there was this really tall blonde in the middle of the room. And so I told one of my buddies, I said, I'm gonna go talk to her, and before I'm done, she's gonna agree to go to Disneyland with me for the weekend. And everybody told me I was full of crap, and I talked her into going to Disneyland, and about a year later we went to Las Vegas and got married.
Wow, man, that's awesome.
So
it's 25 years later.
Yep.
Yeah. So, all right, in your opinion, what's the key to a good marriage, to a healthy marriage, to one that withstands the test of time?
Remember that you always have the last two words, and those are yes, dear.
You sound like me, dude. Right?
Sound like every married man that's been married for more than 5 years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Dude, I would hate to be in the fucking dating game right now.
Oh, that would suck so hard.
It'd suck ass, man.
Well, like I tell my son all the time, I feel so terrible. He's 23 years old. Dude, I feel bad for you trying to have to date.
Yeah. And then there's all the bizarre pressures that we never had to endure, the Marxist bullshit that's going on, right?
Oh yeah.
Kind of crazy. I mean, really.
Not only that, but they have to be careful what they say to each other, and it's
can you imagine, like, all right, so you start making out, and then you stop, ask consent, and then keep going, and then you stop, ask
for consent.
Taking the best aspect about sex is spontaneity, right?
Yeah, there is none. There is no spontaneity, no nothing. And I'm just like, yeah, thanks, but no thanks. I'm glad I'm married, because I don't think I could stay.
Man,
especially not the way I talk.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Let's see. All right, so let's kind of shift gears, all right, and kind of look at aesthetics. You like horror films?
I do.
You do?
I do.
What's your favorite horror film?
Nosferatu.
Which director?
The original German 1932 black and
Murnau, right?
Yes, that is the best horror movie ever.
Very good. The atmosphere is brilliant. It's Go ahead.
Well, I like that movie because the way with the music, the lighting, and all that, even though you don't have all the special effects and everything, it's still, every time Nosferatu comes onto the screen, it's just creepy, eerie, and scary.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a big fan of slasher movies, because they rely on jump scares and gore and things like that. It just doesn't have that same atmosphere as the older. Just not as scary. A little predictable.
Right. Yeah, formulaic. Big
Yeah.
time. Yeah. Is there all right, so what about director wise? Is there a go-to director like it with more modern stuff that you prefer?
I don't really have a go-to director nowadays because a lot of movies coming out and a lot of movies that I've seen recently, I just haven't really been able to get behind. I know that sounds kind of weird, but
No. Well, all right. So, what about sci-fi? Is there anything that's out there that's catching your attention?
The Expanse.
Oh shit, dude! Now,
I like that.
Now you've done it because man, me and Uzi are obsessed with that show.
That's like one of the best sci-fi shows that's been out in a long time.
Well, and you know what? And it's the only one now. I mean, we used to do it with the Walking Dead when Walking Dead was actually good, but I watched the web show with Wes Chatham and Ty Frank. Yeah, and it's funny, man. I'm amazed. The Expanse is probably the best science fiction TV series that we'll probably ever see.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because it's basically a soap opera that takes place in a future that could exist and the detail is incredible with the science.
It is.
They were talking about there's a scene that came out where somebody's been spaced and vacuumed, right? And they said that they had already done. We had done experiments, so they knew what would physiologically happen to a person if they got spaced because of the vacuum. And I found that fascinating that they went to that that detail to get that information. Is great.
It is, and then when they bring the Martians to Earth and everything, and all the troubles that they have to go through to adjust to the gravity and all that, it's those kind of details that you just don't get in a lot of shows.
Exactly, man. And it's a real thing they have to deal with,
Yeah.
And the whole Belter subculture, which is makes perfect sense. Everything, and there's a lot of political shit if you want to look at it, and that's what I like about this show. It doesn't shove it up your ass. It just, it just shows you what this looks like, right? And how it works, right? And that's what it gets into the how, which, makes it much more interesting to think about, in my opinion. But
I totally agree with you.
I really have a utmost respect for that. And the books on tape or the audio books, whatever you want to call them, are really great to listen to. Very, very vividly written. Their name is James S.A. Corey, and it's really two guys. And the name is a nod to a couple things, but to George R.R. Martin, the essay, right? And one of them's a big Rush fan.
Sweet.
Because they named the ship Rocinante, and that's from Cygnus X1.
Yep.
That's on the Farewell to Kings album, which is really cool. I'm sorry, dude. You got me.
No, that's fine, man. preach on, because
I dig this stuff. It's really good. I don't know, man. It's like I love being fired up by something like that. You know, something creative. It's just something. I'd love things that I would say, fuck, I would never think of that, right? You know,
exactly.
You know, it's good stuff. And so,
there's so few things out there now that can get you fired up and make you feel things and make you want to enjoy and go for it.
Indeed, man. It's been a shitty 2 years. Just saying.
Yeah, it has.
Hey,
not kidding.
All right, so what about the video games? Do you play anything? Got a favorite?
Well, I'll tell you what. Ask me what my favorite video game is, so that way I can piss off about half the chat here. And you want to watch chat light up?
What's your favorite video game? Say it, man.
Redneck Rampage is my favorite video game of all time.
All right, tell me what. I don't know this game. Tell me what it's about.
Okay, so Redneck Rampage has something for everybody. It has space aliens, it has shotguns, it has dynamite, it has cussing, and the soundtrack is the Beat Farmers.
Oh wow, that's a blast in the past.
Yeah, so I'm telling you right now, it's the game, especially if you put the cuss pack on it. Then that's only way to play it.
That sounds like it's fun, man. You know what? I think I know what you're talking about, right? Because you run around, you're like walking around with a weapon, and you're trying to find aliens and shoot them in the fucking corn patch and shit like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go through all the different levels.
That's funny.
And
that is a fun game. Now I know what you're talking about.
And when you blow somebody up, it's like, yeah,
he
blew it up real good.
You son of a bitch. Yeah.
Yep.
I love it. It's good stuff.
That is my favorite video game. And yeah.
All right. So what about your favorite TV series?
The original Star Trek.
Okay. You're a TOS guy. So do you catch much of the show that I do with Blind Press and Skep Talk and occasionally the One Ton Hammer and occasionally other people?
Yeah, I've watched a couple episodes of it, but I don't watch Discovery. I've chosen not to watch it.
We don't watch it either, man.
I don't think I would enjoy that, but I did watch some of the other, like Deep Space Nine, some of those.
Yeah.
But no, so the reason why the original Star Trek is near and dear to my heart is multiple reasons, but back when I lived in San Diego as a kid, my dad was in the Navy. My next door neighbors were Trekkie.
Right.
Huge Trekkies. So in 1974, 74, 75, they took me to the Star Trek Expo in Los Angeles, and I got to meet the entire cast and get their autographs and all that kind of thing. And I remember when I met James Doohan, who plays Scotty.
Right.
And he didn't have, because he's Canadian, right? He doesn't have a Scottish accent.
Right.
I was so disappointed. All my delusions had been shattered.
Yeah.
And all that kind of thing.
Well,
but
that's still cool, man.
Yeah, it was really cool. And I got to tell you, Leonard Nimoy was a really cool guy. He really was.
I say I've never met him, man. I know people that have. They concur with that. It's just like I've met some people, but it's like never met anybody that humongous, right?
Yeah.
Because that's iconic, man. Let's see. Do you have a favorite anime series or character? Big on anime?
I'm not an anime kind of person. Back in the day, I watched the little Gundam Wing once in a while.
Right.
But that's kind of about it. So I'm not really an anime person. I know. See there now, getting stuff in chat. But yeah, no, I'm not an anime.
So you don't know what a futa is.
No.
You don't want a man, trust me.
Yeah, probably not. No.
Trust me, man, you do not want to. All right, what about this is the Becca Fairley suggestion, and I've just went ahead and incorporated it into, and I added something to it. Do you have any odd collections or collections of any kind? You collect anything?
Women's skin. No, just kidding. Don't. No, YouTube. Just kidding.
Snap.
Okay, so I have several small collections. I used to have a T-shirt collection with over 400 T-shirts in it.
Holy shit!
But the wife said that was not a good collection to have, so that's gone. I collect shot glasses from every place I've ever been, and every time I go someplace, I get a new shot glass.
Sweet.
I think I'm up to almost 200 shot glasses now.
Fantastic. So do you take a shot out of each one of those when you get them?
Not anymore.
Okay.
So that's another long, boring story. I also collect the anything with Kiss on it.
Oh wow! I got a buddy that's a Kiss collector. That's interesting.
Yeah,
Did you were you in the studio earlier when I was playing Shout It Out Loud? But
I was.
It came on the Winamp thing. How odd that would pop up on the Kiss, man, for you. That was for you. My computer gave a gift to you. It's crazy.
It did.
Yeah, it did. All right, so what about hobbies?
Hobby. I am an avid shooter. I'm into shooting sports. I like to run, and I like anything piratey. So anything that has to do with pirates, I'm into it. And so every time I go to a city on the coast, if they have a maritime museum or a pirate museum,
Right.
I always. So those are my hobbies.
That's neat. I dig it. So, what about? All right. So, what's your favorite weapon?
The blunderbuss. Oh, my favorite current weapon?
Yeah, like modern weapon. Yeah, and blunderbuss. That's a good one too.
Yeah.
'Cause you can put all kinds of shit in that.
Of the guns I own, my latest acquisition is HK VP9. Just purchased that yesterday.
Nice.
It is. But my favorite gun that I have right now is my Smith Wesson 9mm EZ, and that is. But now, ask me my favorite weapon I've ever shot, and I would have to say it's 20mm.
Yeah, 20mm cannon.
Yep.
What kind? Which kind was it? The autocannon with the rotating, with the Gatling thing, or
no? It was a single barrel. We had it mounted on the side of the ship for Desert Storm, and it had these two big.
Was it a Bushmaster? Like,
no, it was much bigger than that. It was solid mounted, and you know, in the World War II movies when they put themselves in those little shoulder harness looking come off of it.
Yeah, anti-aircraft. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like that. Only it was 20mm chain.
Dude.
And it was the most. That was the most fun I ever had. Close on.
Man.
It was like Yeah, it was a rush. You just lean into it, grab the handles, click the button, and off she ran. You know, with the tracers on.
Yeah, man. I bet that was cool.
And oh, it was. You could skip it across the water, get those bullets across the water. I mean, that was so much. Yeah, I would do that again in a heartbeat.
Sounds like
if
it,
we
man.
were allowed. If we were allowed to own one, I'd put one in my front yard.
No shit. Keep people away, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, we're not going to go visit that guy. He's a nut.
Yeah, no shit. See, I wouldn't mind having a, M2, just a regular 50 cal,
Yeah, it would be fun. But,
it would be. I've never shot one. I would love to.
Really?
Yeah, not a M2 machine gun. It's like that's a dream. To lay waste to like a car or some stuff with the with the 50 cal. It'd be fun.
Yeah.
God knows how much it would cost now, though.
Oh God, imagine.
Yeah.
I've fired a few of the old Browning 50 cals before. Fired the M60, and both of those were.
Good old M60, yeah, man.
Yeah, that's a great gun. And that's another fun one.
Nice.
So yeah, those.
Okay, so all right. Shifting gears again. We're going to. All right. What about scars, tattoos, or piercings?
I've got tons and tons of scars. No tattoos and no piercings.
You were in the Navy and no tattoos.
Yeah, I hear that a lot.
Well, that you would think, right? Because that's kind of like a cliche anyway. So, there are exceptions. In 40 years, what do you think people will be nostalgic for?
In 40 years, at the current rate that we're going, people will be nostalgic for times like this when you can talk openly and honestly with other folks.
Interesting. Getting that a lot. So what's the most useless talent you have?
Most useless talent?
Yeah.
I remember a lot of weird stuff.
Oh.
Little snippets of knowledge that nobody really cares or needs to know.
Man, I swear to God, you sound like me too, man. It's like I'm the same way. I just got a factoid about something bizarre, but I can't tell you. I can't remember if I took out the trash.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that, right?
I have the same identical problem. I can't remember, what I had for breakfast, but we'll be sitting watching something, and my wife say, "Who is that?" Tell her.
Yeah, the actors.
You can remember that,
yeah,
but
exactly. Yeah.
Actors from back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Absolutely.
That's like the message you sent me. You said I was in like Flynn when you accepted me to your server.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna type back what? I have to make a bad James Coburn joke now.
Yeah, James. Yeah, those movies are great. James Coburn.
They were.
He was a great actor, and people really don't understand that man was a real man. He was a manly man.
Yeah, he was exactly that's exactly what I was thinking. But you stole my thunder.
What was that movie with fucking Mel Gibson, where he's got like this alligator suitcase, and Mel Gibson shoots the suitcase, and he goes, "Man, that's just mean." It is a great movie. It's called Payback, maybe.
Yeah,
because all he wants is that $3,000, and that's a great movie, man. I need to pull that out. Maybe The President's Analyst. That's another crazy, one of those weird '60s movies that
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a bizarre. There was a lot, man. A lot of people were doing experiments with the psychedelics. I think working in Hollywood back in the '60s, man. 'Cause if you think about the TV shows, you know, like you got Batman, you got Gilligan's Island, you got It's About Time. I don't know. Do you remember that? Yeah,
I do.
Yeah, where the
time tunnel.
Yeah, the time tunnel. You know, it's all these weird, really cool, really creative shit. Now all they can do is just regurgitate the same kind of stuff over and over again. You know?
Well, I know for a fact there was a lot of stuff like that going on in the 60s, because if you remember from the very first episode of the Brady Bunch, where they're talking about getting married, Carol calls him on the phone, and he's saying how nervous he is and everything. She's like, you know what? Have a drink, take a Quaalude, everything will be fine. And there's no way you could have that scene on TV today.
No doubt, man. No doubt.
So,
what's the most useless talent you have?
The remembering of
shit.
Snippets of knowledge. You already asked me that. Next question.
We totally went jazz excursion. That's right. We call that Uzi calls that dog. Yeah, dog, cat, squirrel.
Yep.
If you could know,
squirrel.
If you could know the absolute and total truth, one question, what would that be? What would you ask?
That's tough, because I have two things that I really want to know the truth about. And the first one being the Bermuda Triangle. See, only those of us of a certain age understand that reference. And the other would be this last election.
Interesting. Indeed. Those
so that would be mine.
Yeah, man. It's like I don't know what to say, because that's pretty profound. It's like I want to know that stuff too. What do you think's your spirit animal? Come on.
My spirit animal is the bison.
Nice.
Or as most Americans say, the buffalo.
Right on.
Well, no, that's my spirit animal.
Have you ever eaten bison?
Many times.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, right outside of Denver, Colorado, there's a restaurant that the only meat they eat is bison.
That's amazing how they did that too, because when I was growing up as a kid, man, bison were like extinct practically.
Yeah, they were.
And they brought them back. That's amazing. That's a good thing. I like good stuff like that. All right, so this is the point where, in homage to James Lipton, the man behind Inside the Actors Studio, who passed away last January, I asked what I call the Lipton's questionnaire, the 10 questions he asked everybody he interviewed, and I am I do it here as an homage to that guy, because I do this thing, and I have influences, like Tom Snyder, Dick Cavett, so this does come from a place of actual there's something, there's something substantive to what I'm trying to do here. Sometimes it doesn't always look like that. All right, so here we go. Rapid fire questions. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, what's your favorite word?
Defenestrate.
Nice. To throw out a window, people. Defenestration.
Because if you think about it, if you say, I shall defenestrate you, is much more interesting than saying, I'm going to chuck you out a window, dude, because you pissed me off.
And that's one of the great reasons you should watch the Hannibal TV series.
Oh, that was a great series.
Yeah, because that word is actually used. You gotta love somebody for that. What's your least favorite word?
Can't.
What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Creatively, music, spiritually, truth, and emotionally would probably have to be music again.
Nice. What turns you off?
Mean people.
What's your favorite curse word?
Dickweed.
I like that too. What noise or sound do you hate or do you love? I say that first.
What noise or sound do I love?
Yeah.
I love the sound of the ship as it goes through the water.
Nice. See, I'm sure there's like a almost a peaceful kind of rhythm to it, almost like being inside a womb-like experience. You know, shut your eyes.
Yeah, at times. Yeah.
Yeah.
At times.
All right. So, what noise or sound do you hate?
The noise or sound that I hate is when whatever environment I'm in, when the noise changes.
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
I would like to be the guy that puts suntan lotion on models for fun.
Well, all right. So, what profession would you not like to do?
Retail.
And last but not least, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say to you when you arrive at the pearly gate?
Welcome home.
Good. All right, and this is the point where chat, if you got any questions, queue them up now. All right, just pop them in because we're near the end of the line here. It's been a great, fast show, man. Just going all over the place. Some jazz excursions, nice stuff. I love it. I love improv. Just not knowing where it's going to go. It's fun.
Yeah, we did take some detours, but they
No.
I enjoyed them.
And man, indeed. It's like I'm really glad. See, my gut always tells me who to ask, and I know to trust that feeling now, man. I knew we'd hit it off, and it's a good thing.
Yeah, my whole thing with questions is I always tell people, especially when I first meet them, don't ask the question.
Okay, Mr. Goatman's got a question for you. What is your favorite color?
My favorite color is blue.
What is the purpose of your quest?
Purpose of my quest is to have as much fun as possible before I die.
And what is the airspeed of an unladen swallow?
Is that African or English swallow?
See, I don't know. How does gasoline start a car? Ryan himself wants to know.
What's that?
How does gasoline start a car?
How does gasoline? Well, gasoline doesn't start a car. What starts the car is the starter.
It's internal combustion, man. It's the spark hits the gas of the gas, and then it pushes the piston down, and then it raises the valves up. You know, it's that's an interesting question.
Yeah, I don't know that much about that stuff. So I'm not mechanical at all.
Indeed.
But
compression upon ignition of the gasoline. That's right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, because it squirts. Because gasoline itself isn't that combustible. So what happens is the carburetor squirts it out in.
Merle wants to know controlled fission. Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Sooner or later.
Yeah, well, you know, they had those salt reactors that, that were horrible, highly unstable.
Okay. So, Richo wants to know, is it a gas station or a petrol station? I'm going to say it's a petrol station.
Yeah, Richo's an Aussie.
Yeah, I know. We've had discussions about it before. I've spent a lot of time in Australia, and to this day, I still use a lot of Australian lingo and saying. Because.
All right, so yes, all right, you said you had experience with this. So, what's your opinion of Australian women? Yes or no?
Oh, definitely.
Well, then there you go, Richo.
Yeah.
Aussie, oi, oi, oi.
Oi, 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 oi.
Oi. Don't.
Yeah.
Oi.
Yeah, and Richo, by the way, I'm Western Australia all the way.
There you go, man. All right, so this is the point where we're back at YouTube, and I'm going to ask you this. All right, so who do you think? Who would you like to promote? Who would you say is the most undersubscribed YouTuber on the internet that you're watching nowadays?
I'd say your boy Pat and Jack Cochran's channel, the Bad Comics.
Nice. And everybody remember, all right, so Dar, you don't have a channel, do you?
I do, but there's nothing posted on it, and I have one whole subscriber.
Okay, so that's your placeholder account, so you can go.
Right.
Pat's wanting people to go to Psycho Rick. He's excited about that.
Oh, Psycho Rick, yeah. So when I plugged Pat's channel earlier, I should have said specifically Psycho Rick, because from the first time he's put a video up on that channel, I've watched every single video that he's put up. And he did a live stream just a couple days ago that was very sincere, honest. I can't say I disagree with him at all in what he said. And so I would highly recommend you guys go check out Psycho.
Indeed. All right. Well, there you go. All right. So
you're not.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, you didn't ask me who I thought was overhyped.
Yeah, that was my next question. Who do you think is an overhyped YouTuber? Somebody you don't get?
Of course, Shill Up DeFaco's cat goat.
I feel you.
I just don't get it. So,
what's up, you beautiful bastards?
Yeah.
That was cute. First 350,000 times I saw it.
Yeah.
Gets
old.
It does, man. Do you have any? All right, so really at this point, all right. So I usually ask people about what they're working on. If you what's in your life now that you want to talk about? That let everybody know that you're doing, or if you don't, you can take this wherever you want to.
Okay, well, I'm not, well, actually what I'm working on is getting ready to move to Florida. So soon I will, instead of being RVA Dar, I will be Florida Man Dar. So,
dude, what's putting you down there, man? What's
I want to get out of live somewhere warm, because I am a warm weather kind of. I do not like cold weather, and I just kind of like the whole attitude and vibe of Florida.
Yeah.
For an old pirate, it's kind of a good place to go.
Yeah, indeed, man. Laid back. You got
it is. It's definitely the kind of got that whole for it, and that's kind of more.
Well, cool, man. Well, so when does that start? When y'all heading down?
Probably next year or two.
Well, cool, man.
So it's not. I don't do anything very quickly. I'm not one of those like think about it for a really long time.
It took me a long time to figure that out, that it's better to slow down and do it thoroughly. Anything.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yeah. You have to wait.
All right, so you don't have all right, so you don't have a channel to show. So I do have your Twitter is in the description here. So please, everybody, subscribe to Dara's Twitter as well as you can put. You want to put your link to your YouTube channel in there. And I'll grab it and pop it in.
Well, forgo that. I don't care. It's like I said, it's just a placeholder.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate that. All right. So, what? All right. So, a final word for everybody in the chat. This is the point where we wrap, man.
All right. Anybody got
any questions? If you got anything you want to say to them?
Well, I would like to say that I appreciate all you guys watching, your comments, and all that, even Richo's comment. I've had a great time. I hope you all did the same. If you ever get a chance, tweet anything you want to at me. I don't end it. It's kind of all I got.
That's right, man. Well, cool. And it's like, once again, my gut was correct. And Dara is certified cool. All right. Boom. So we're putting that stamp on him. That's right. And all right.
Yeah,
so
I'm gonna wear it with pride.
Do, man, because it's a good thing. Cool is good. Cool is good.
Yeah, it is.
It is a good thing. And before we part, all right, so I want to tell everybody, tomorrow Becca and I are going to be looking at a TED Talk about the dirty little secret behind capitalism, and then I'm going to dig something else up. We're going to have to decide that later on. I will be on her channel later this evening, 8 o'clock Central. That's 9, I guess, Eastern. And of course next week, Friday night, starting Friday, Creem stream, Saturday accelerated deconstruction. We're going to do some more critical theory stuff. Last night's show was fantastic. It went almost 3.5 hours, and then this time next week, all right, in the seat you're going to see Serenity Star 13. So we will be joined by Serenity Star. And so I'm excited about that. And on that note, I don't have anything else to say. What about you, Dar?
Yeah, just one quick observation, comment, whatever, however you want to put it. So a lot of live stream and videos that go out, even though I don't always get a chance to watch them live, I usually watch later. Especially when I'm working, I like to. So don't be surprised if you see comments or something from me later on.
Sweet. So yeah, and I appreciate that. It's the views is what it's about. I want to spread my love to everyone, and in a clean way, not a dirty way. Anyway, and on that note, with all of my love in my heart, I will say, let's kick it and get the F out of here. And it was great, Darth. Thank you so much for being my guest, man. You're awesome. And I'll see you in just a second.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, y'all. See you tomorrow.